Here we are again for another edition of Hornhouse Kitchen. I'm here today with my friend Dave. He is.
Hey, Bri.
Hey Dave, how you doing? Today we're going to make black bean salsa. Have you ever made black bean salsa before?
Are you kidding? The only thing I remember made is the, what was that, the...
Creme brulee. Yeah, if you haven't seen our creme brulee video, check that out on my YouTube channel. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, is wash our hands. So let's wash our hands.
All right.
Yeah. So this is a really simple recipe. I just Googled Chipotle black bean salsa, and the first recipe that came up was from McCormick. We're not exactly going to follow the recipe. I sent it to you earlier, so hopefully you have all the ingredients. Do you have diced tomatoes?
Pam, do we have diced tomatoes? Yeah, she says we do.
Well, do you have them there?
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Okay, we'll try that. Diced tomato. Petite, we have petite diced.
Yep, that's what I got. Do you have corn?
Corn, corn, yes.
Awesome. I guess it wouldn't be black bean salsa without the black bean, so.
Yeah, that's what this looks like, yeah.
How about some cilantro?
Cilantro, yeah, I think that's in this bag, yep.
Okay, and an onion?
Got an onion.
Awesome. How about some chili peppers, or did you just have chili powder?
Pam says chili powder. We got some spices over here.
I went with fresh chilies, so you'll have to bear with me when I chop mine up. So very simple recipe. Probably took longer to go through the ingredients than it is to make this recipe, but we're going to start by rinsing off the black beans. So take your colander, put it in the sink, pour your black beans into the colander. Where's my other black beans? Here it is. It's fighting. What brand of black beans did you get? I got Goya.
I got Wegmans.
Wegmans, yeah. I'm sure they're all just as good.
When did we go to Wegmans?
Probably because they were cheaper. I want to rinse them off. And you want to be gentle when you're rinsing them because they're somewhat fragile, so you don't want to smush them, but you can take your hand and kind of, like agitate them a little bit, but not, like I say, be careful that you don't squish them.
This is like one of those Halloween horror rooms where you stick your hands in it and they tell you it's
yeah, it feels weird.
Eyeballs or something. Should I be using hot or cold water? Or
cold water.
And can I use the sprayer or should I just...
You could use the spray, yeah.
That would take 2 hands though. Are you using the spray?
No, I'm just using the tap. And you'll kind of notice, like at first, this at least with mine, this dark, pasty kind of stuff washed off of it. So once they're rinsed and clean, you're good. And you'll shake them out a little bit, and hopefully you have a bowl ready. Then you're just going to pour them in the bowl.
I'll make sure I have nice and clean beans.
Yep. And then you're going to do the same thing with the corn next. Although you got frozen corn?
I got frozen corn, yeah.
Yeah, so you still probably wouldn't be a bad idea to rinse them just to make sure, because we want just the corn, nothing else. Same thing, give those a rinse. Make sure that there's nothing. And again, shake it out, get as much of the water off as you can. Am I going too fast for you?
No, I'm up with you.
Yeah. So I heard that for your cooking night, you share the cooking with Pam. I heard for the cooking night, one of your favorite recipes is loaded nachos.
That's my only recipe.
It's your only recipe. So this will be a nice addition to it because
I hope Pam's paying attention, that's all.
Huh?
I hope Pam's paying attention because I don't know if I can do this again. Did we say dump the corn back into the bowl?
Yes, we're saving the corn, not the liquid.
So we dumped it with the beans?
Yes, with the beans.
All right.
Okay.
Is it time to get cracking yet?
Yeah. Don't break any eggs. There's no eggs in this.
Oh, all right.
And then, of course, the same thing with the petite diced tomatoes.
Oh,
the first time I got this, I didn't realize that I got Italian seasoned tomatoes.
In the colander?
Into the colander. Rinse them off.
Water on again? Okay. That's all the
And
tomatoes
again,
is going away.
And again, you want to rinse them until they're the water's running clean. And dump that in the bowl. I'm just going to spray down the sink. Alrighty, let's set that aside for a minute, and we're going to go on to the chopping.
What are we going on to?
We're going to go on to the chopping. I'm going to turn you a little bit so I can look at you while I'm over here, because I got to go over the side a little bit more. I'm going to turn you a little bit more. Can you still see me?
I can see it.
Okay. All right, so you got your onion.
Got my onion.
Now, the original recipe only, I think, called for 2 tablespoons of diced onion. Now, I don't know about you, but I like onion, so I'm going to put the whole onion in.
Awesome.
If you don't like that much onion, do half.
I love onion.
All right, so you want to hold the onion so either the the stem is up.
Should I take the skin off?
You don't have to yet, and I'll show you why I say that. You're going to cut it. I don't know if you can see how I'm holding it. You're going to cut it up and down. So here's the crown. Here's the stem part. You're going to cut it. Let me show me close into the. Yeah, cut. So you're cutting it this way. You just cut it in half.
All the way through, huh?
All the way through. Okay. And not the root end, the end that's got the little bit of. Go ahead, all the way through. You take half.
Cut it all the way through. Not the end. And I was like, what? It's already
No, I'm going on to the next step. I'm going on to the next step. You're slow, Dave. Come on, keep up here. Not the root end. We're not going to cut the root end.
Okay.
Cut just a little bit, like maybe just a little bit, like maybe a half inch off the top.
Cut the little pointy thing off the top.
Yeah. And then I find, like, once you do that, it's real easy to peel the onion. Let me know when you're caught up. Yep, what are you doing? It would have been easier to put it on the board, flat on the board, and cut it. That's okay.
I'm getting a lot of onion too.
You're an Eagle Scout. I'm sure you know enough to cut away from yourself. You never cut towards yourself. All right. Well, so we're gonna lay it flat on the cutting board. I want
And the other half too, right?
We'll do that. Yeah, we can get that one ready.
I don't think my knife's sharp enough.
Yeah, I should have. But like that's, adult knife is a dangerous knife. So yeah, you always want to start with a sharp knife.
I think we had people over for Thanksgiving, and that was one of the complaints of the guest chefs, was that our knives weren't sharp enough.
Yeah.
Future years he brought his own, so.
I'll have to do another session on how to sharpen knives. Actually, my friend Dan showed me a couple weeks ago, because I've always been challenged with sharpening knives.
All right, I got 2 halves of onions.
Good. So I'm going to show you just so you can see, but we're going to do this on the cutting board. So you're going to take in horizontally, and the reason you don't cut the root, because that's what's going to hold the onion together as we slice it. Okay? So you're going to cut from the can you see what I'm doing?
Are
You're
you
going to cut
on
to
the
this
root
end,
side? Is that the root side?
not from the root side.
Okay.
And we're going to make 2 horizontal cuts like this.
Okay. Doesn't look very safe doing that with that up in the
No.
air.
And then you're going to make cuts like this. So you understand what I'm telling you to do?
Yep.
All right, so obviously do it flat on the cutting board. And that's one reason we cut it in half, because it's a lot easier to rest the flat half on the cutting board and do it. And that little root section holds it together. It makes it easier.
Oh yeah. We got knives.
And obviously, the thinner that you make your slices, the smaller the pieces of the onion. So basically, we're just making a diced onion.
And how far are these cuts that go into the back?
As far as you can without, because like I said, you want to use that root part to hold together. It makes it easier. And be careful of your fingers. You don't want to slice your fingers kind of curve them under or something, or if you curl them sort of like this. Yeah, that's good. Awesome, great job.
And then up and down, huh?
Yeah, but not all. Oh, no, which way are you cutting it? That's all right.
I don't cut this all the way through?
Then you're cutting it this way, so the root's down here,
Yep.
and you're cutting it this way,
All the way down, right?
all the way down.
Yep.
And then you're going to chop horizontally the other way.
I'm gonna chop again.
Yeah, so 3 directions.
I think I'm missing something.
So you slice
I
it
want
this
to go
way.
this way.
Slice it this way, then you're slicing it this way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's it. That's a huge knife to be cut with, but hey, it's working.
It's sharper.
Yeah. Just be careful. Now, yes. Now see how it gives you those nice little diced pieces?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do that to both halves. And you notice how the root kind of helps hold it together?
And then we waste all this at the end, though. I guess I can just munch on that.
A little bit. So go ahead and chop up both your halves.
You know what? I think this needs more peeling. It's not very appealing with the skin on.
It's not appealing.
All right, got the skin on.
Are you crying, Dave?
I'm always crying.
You know, a lot of times when you cut onion, I forget the gas it emits, but you know, it makes people cry. So one thing that we've always done that seems to eliminate, if you keep your onions in the fridge and they're cold, I don't know if it's because they're cold or.
So now that would have been a good tip before.
The day before. No, I just.
So now you can see the difference. My eyes are tearing, not refrigerated. Brian's eyes tearing.
Not tearing, refrigerated. I just like to see you cry, Dave.
Throw me under the bus there a bit, huh? For the sake of the show.
Hopefully you're not crying because you're doing such a horrible job of cutting. No, it looks like you're doing.
No, it's because of all the cuts in my finger.
You're not supposed to cut your finger. Okay. So once you get that all cut up, you're going to put that in the bowl with the corn, the tomatoes, and the black beans. Wait till we get to the cilantro. That's going to be fun. While you're on that, I'm going to go grab a spoon because to mix the things up, I'll be right back. All right. So I'm just kind of stirring the things we already have in there together. Again, you want to be gentle because the beans are fragile, the tomatoes are fragile. So just kind of, you know, scoot down to the bottom, just kind of lifting them up to
So the onions
mix
gone in
everything.
yet? Have the onions gone in yet?
Yes, put the onions in and then stir everything together.
I think this cutting board's a little too big.
So I got this cilantro a few days ago and it's starting to wilt already.
So you want to use fresh cilantro, that's what you're saying?
It makes a huge difference, yeah.
Hey, you're doing something with the cilantro? You're already up to, what are you doing with the cilantro?
It'll take, I don't know, it's probably not even that much. Take about, I don't know what I'd call that.
That?
Yeah, yours looks much fresher. You can see mine's kind of wilty. And you're gonna fold it in half. So you make a little like bundle like this.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna chop it as finely as you can.
So chop it really well, chop it fine.
Chop it fine. And chopped.
You're bending your fingers, right?
And not cutting your fingers because
You're bending them under, right?
you're bending them on. Yes, you remember from last time. Awesome.
That way you can put the knife up against the...
Your knuckles and slide. You're right. Slide up and down your knuckles. But if you, like I said, if you make a little bundle, if you curl it, you know, bend it in half, it makes a thicker stalk. It makes it a little easier, I think. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start chopping up my peppers since you don't have peppers. So I got a jalapeno, and I don't know what the other one is. I don't know if you're aware that in the pepper, it's not the seeds that are the hot part. It's the ribbing inside. And if you have one of these peppers that are like super, super hot, be very careful not to touch your eyes. You know, what do you think they make pepper spray out of? Peppers. Hot peppers.
Well, you're not supposed to touch your eyes anymore anyways.
So, and if you don't want it like too hot, you can kind of pull out some of the ribbing, but it's, I don't know if you can see.
Should I put one of these in?
Sure, yep, that would be good. But see this ribbing here? That's the part that's the hot part. So again, I'm gonna cut this really, especially since it's hot, I'm gonna make this a really fine dice. So if you cut the top off, I find is the easiest way. Pull out the seeds, clean out the seeds. And in my American Chop Suey video, I showed how to chop a pepper, but I'll walk you through it when you get to that point. Just let me know.
I still have lots of leaves in my cilantro. Are leaves okay in the cilantro?
Yeah, yeah. You just don't want. Well, I mean, you could have, because we're going to garnish it with a couple big leafy pieces at the end. So my pepper, I don't know if you can see it. It's
I'm dumping cilantro. Now I haven't stirred anything yet. Should I stir before I do the cilantro?
Huh?
I haven't stirred my mix yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to mix in the cilantro and everything, but before it gets too.
Okay, so the cilantro's in there. Yeah, the cilantro's now out of there.
What type of bowl is that? I like that bowl.
Like that? It's a glass of some sort.
Nice shape. I like that.
All right.
All right. So you're going to take your pepper,
Take my pepper.
cut the top off, like maybe a
On the
quarter
top.
inch from the top. And you can cut that up into little pieces, but for sake of brevity, we're going to leave that aside for now.
Okay.
And then cut it in half. And scoop out the seeds. Okay.
All scooped.
So now what I find is easy, this type of pepper is too small, it doesn't matter, but if you cut the bottom off, and then you can kind of lay it flat.
I can lay, oh, really flat, huh?
Yeah, really flat.
Okay.
And again, you can use those pieces later, but it's just easier.
These ribs, should I take the ribs out?
And yeah. So now you're gonna cut thin strips. I guess be lengthwise, top to bottom, going with the not across the grain. So like
Yeah.
from stem to stern.
Yep.
So make a bunch of thin strips.
How thin are we doing?
Huh?
How thin are we doing?
I'd say maybe a quarter inch thick. I mean, I tend to like finely diced things. Now, like with this hot pepper, I'm doing, probably 8 or maybe even 16th inch strips because obviously it's hot and you don't want to have like a huge bite, quarter inch bite of hot pepper in your mouth. But for that size pepper, and
These
that's
are all
good
pretty
because it's
long.
going to add some color to the dish too.
These are all pretty long. Should I be cutting them in half or do you want them long?
Long. And then you're going to bundle them up. And then cut them into little cubes.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Pepper. Falling behind, Dave.
My pack of pepper was bigger than yours.
I know. I'm just giving you crap.
Did we already bundle them up and go the other way?
Yeah. You probably,
How big a cube? Squares?
there we go. It'd be funny if through all this I didn't have the record button on. We just have to do it again.
Yeah.
Well, this is the second time I've made this dish. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I don't know if it's because of the pandemic, but they had these huge gallon cans of vegetables, and they were 50% off. So I think a gallon can of black beans was like $1.88, or no, I think it was more than that. It was like $2.50 for a gallon of black beans, and I think it was like $4.50 for a gallon of corn. I'm like, this is awesome! I can make a mega batch, but I don't know what I would have done with 5 gallons of black bean dip. So I opted for just the smaller cans. It's actually very economical. I don't know how much you paid, but I think I paid 88 cents for the corn. Oh no, the corn was more. I think the corn was $1 a can. I think the black beans were like 88 cents, and the diced tomatoes was like $1 a can. So the most expensive thing is the fresh cilantro and the fresh pepper. But you're kind of getting the idea that you can put just about anything into this recipe.
Bananas? I got some bananas.
You can No, I don't think so. Although you could make a mango salsa with bananas. That would be awesome. But no, I think we'll leave the bananas off. Good.
I'm gonna get a spoon and do some mixing here.
Yeah, you're way behind. Like, I'm pretty much done.
Well, what else I got? Everything's in.
Just this little salt, pepper, and then you're going to take a little bit of the, well, mine's so wilted it doesn't really work, but a little bit of the cilantro and put it on top for garnish. Oh, I did the chili pepper. So yeah, you probably want to do, I don't know, I'd say maybe a teaspoon. So a trick, I don't know if you do it, is if you cup your hand, no, you don't need a spoon. Cup your hand, and in the little well of your hand, that's about a teaspoon.
So fill up my whole hand, huh?
No, do not fill up your whole hand. Just the little well in the bottom of your hand.
Well, the well up to the fingers.
And obviously stir that in well because, you know, but you could use a fresh chili powder, a fresh chili pepper like I did. The other thing this dish calls for is, I think, a tablespoon of vinegar. I'm leaving that out. What I would recommend rather than the vinegar is squeeze like half a fresh lemon into it to give it that acidity. Do you have, it's up to you, do you have either vinegar or lemon?
You think we have a lemon?
So I would say probably only half the lemon, so cut it in half. And when you squeeze, like, just be careful that you don't squeeze the, just use your hand. Oh, he's got a fancy, ooh, doohickey. There you go. I would have just squeezed it and used my hand as a strainer, but hey, if you got it right there, why not? So that just adds a little acidity to the recipe.
We cut a lemon in half every morning and make a half a glass of lemon water each.
Oh, nice. And you can still use like that to put in some water. You know, there's enough probably flavor in that rind that's left there to put in water, a glass of water.
Guess we should start doing that. I like lemons. Lemons are like onions.
Lemons are good for you, I think.
Okay, and then how much salt are we putting in?
You know, I try to cut down on salt in my diet, so, you know, I didn't put any salt at all in, but I would say at most maybe a teaspoon of salt, a couple shakes.
We generally don't cook with salt, so
The recipe didn't call for it, but I did put in pepper. I put in a couple grinds of pepper into it. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. You know, before you serve it, you could garnish it with a couple, very nice. I suppose we should taste it after all this, huh? I'm going to taste the cilantro. This is the type of recipe that it will taste even better tomorrow, like as all the flavors kind of munge together. It'll be even better. Say what?
now we put the eggs in?
No eggs, Dave. Now you enjoy it.
How are we gonna get cracking?
You left me speechless. Well, that's it for today, Dave. Hope you enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ham and Sarah are gonna love this. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.